the child of immemorial ages, preserved by its vitality and truth into our modern times, it is now emerging from the secret schools and ascetic retreats in which it had taken refuge and is seeking its place in the future sum of living human powers and utilities. 100 years later, on the 11th of December 2014, the United Nations General Assembly declared June 21 as the International Day of Yoga.
Feel better, get better. Although all efforts have been made to make this video self-sufficient, it is strongly recommended that the practices may be started only after at least 3 sessions of personal instruction from a competent yoga teacher. In the video, in order to limit its duration, many repetitive practices have not been repeated as many times as they should be. Further, the asanas have also been done only up to the count of 5. If you have the time and also the capacity to stay steady and comfortable in the posture longer, you may hold it longer.
Please sit down on the yoga mat in a loose and comfortable dress. Please take off your glasses and watch. Remove any keys, wallet or cell phone that you might have in your pocket. In short, get rid of everything that might hamper your movements. Let us start with the simplest and shortest of prayers, 3 Omkaras. Take a deep breath in and chant Om while breathing out. Inhale. The warm-up, loosening of hands and fingers, loosening of the wrists, hands up and down, sideways, rotation, rotation in the opposite direction, okay? Loosening of the neck. Those having cervical spondylosis, that is neck pain, be particularly careful while looking down. Do only as much as you can without being uncomfortable. Look left and right slowly without a jerk. Up and down, slowly, without a jerk. Those having a problem with the neck, be particularly careful while looking down. Sideward bends. Bend your head to the left and to the right slowly without a jerk. Okay? Neck movements are very important for those who spend a lot of time every day reading or writing. Loosening of the knees. Straighten the legs. Lift the right thigh up with your hands and take it close to the abdomen. And then bring it back. Take care that the heel stays slightly above the mat throughout the movement. The other side. Don't let the heel touch the mat. Return to the right leg. Lift the thigh up. Rotate the leg 5 times. Rotation in the opposite direction. The other side. Rotation. Rotation in the opposite direction. Okay? These movements are generally good for those having osteoarthritis of the knees. They should do each movement not just 5 times but 10 times, and not just once a day but 3 times a day, morning, afternoon and evening. Loosening of the hips. Please come to the position for butterfly movement. Move the knees up and down quickly. Okay? If this is difficult for you, there is another alternative. Sit with the legs straight. Bring one of the feet as close to the body as possible. Hold the knee with the hand and take it up and down. The other side. Okay? Eye exercises. Now we shall look in different directions without moving the head, using only the eyes. Keep the head and neck erect and fixed but relaxed. Look straight ahead. Now, using only the eyes, look left and right slowly. Okay? Now let's give the eyes some rest. Close your eyes, rub your palms. Cup your palms and place them in front of the closed eyes. Do not touch the eyes with your hands. Just keep the hands close to the eyes. Experience the eyes relaxing in warmth and total darkness. Bring the hands down. Open your eyes with a few blinks. Look up and down slowly. Okay? Relax the eyes. Okay? Open your eyes with a few blinks. Diagonal movements of the eyeballs. Look up and left, down and right, slowly. Now up and right, down and left. Relax the eyes. Okay? Open your eyes with a few blinks. Rotation of the eyeballs. First, clockwise rotation. Anti-clockwise. Relax the eyes. Okay, open your eyes with a few blinks. Eye movements are very important for those who spend a lot of time every day reading, writing, or in front of the computer. Please stand up slowly. Breathing exercises. In these exercises, the movement will be synchronized with breathing. The movement should last as long as the breathing. The breathing should last as long as the movement. A few more things to keep in mind. Move slowly, breathe slowly. Breathing out should take a little longer than breathing in. Slow and gentle movements, slow and gentle breathing. Okay, let's begin. The first one, hands in and out breathing. Feet close together. Straighten your arms. Breathe in as you move the hands out. Breathe out as you bring the hands back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hand stretch breathing. Crisscross the fingers and bring the hands close to the chest. Breathe in as you straighten the arms. Breathe out as you fold the arms back. Please note the rotatory movement at the wrist. As you breathe in, the palms move outwards, and as you breathe out, the palms move inwards as you bring the arms towards the chest. Let's begin. Hand stretch breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now the same thing, 135 degrees. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 180 degrees. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay. Now relax for a while. Feet a little apart, neck relaxed, shoulders drooping, eyes closed. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Okay? Ankle stretch breathing. This is one practice in which it is important to keep the eyes open. It helps in steadying yourself. Place your palms on the thighs. Keep your eyes open. Fix your gaze at some point immediately in front of you. Inhale as you take the arms up and stand on your toes. Exhale as you bring the hands and the heels down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Forward and backward bending, synchronized with breathing. If you have back pain, skip this one. Feet apart. Inhale as you bend backwards and take the arms up and back. Exhale as you bend forwards and swing your arms down and back between the legs. Do not try to touch the toes, just bend as much as you can, quickly and comfortably. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay? Relax for a while. Feet a little apart. Neck relaxed, shoulders drooping, eyes closed. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Okay? Surya Namaskar. If you have back pain or heart disease, skip this one. Also, go slow on it if you have high blood pressure. Surya Namaskar is a sequence of 12 positions and may look a little complicated in the beginning, but comes very naturally after a little practice. Leave about 1/3 of the mat in front of you, 2/3 behind. Feet close together. Adopt Namaskar Mudra. Inhale as you take your arms up and back and come to Uttana Hastasana. Exhale as you come down to Pada Hastasana. Inhale as you bend the right leg at the knee. Simultaneously, take the left leg back. Let the left knee touch the mat. Look up. This position is called Ashwasanchalanasana. Hold the breath. Come to the inverted V posture or Parvatasana. Place the head between your arms. Form a perfect triangle. Give yourself a backward push. Exhale as you come down to Ashtanga Namaskar. 8 parts of your body are in contact with the mat in this posture. 2 hands, 2 knees and 2 feet. That makes it 6. And the forehead and the chest, that makes it 8. Note that the hips are raised and therefore the abdomen and the thighs are not in contact with the mat. Inhale as you lift yourself up to Bhujangasana, the Cobra pose. Lift the head and chest. Look back. Push out the chest. Let the abdomen stay in contact with the mat. Exhale as you go once again to the inverted V posture or Parvatasana. Inhale as you thrust your left leg forwards and bend it at the knee. Keep the right leg straight. Let the right knee touch the mat. Look up, Ashwasanchalanasana. Exhale as you bring the right leg forwards to join the left leg and come to Pada Hastasana. Inhale as you slowly is very important here to avoid instability. Slowly rise to Uttana Hastasana. Take the arms up and back. Exhale as you return to Namaskar Mudra. Pause a little before we go to the second round. Second round. Inhale as you raise your hands up and back. Exhale as you come down to Pada Hastasana. Inhale as you bend the left leg at the knee. Take the right leg back. Note that in the previous round, the right leg was forwards. In this round, it is the left leg that is forwards. Holding the breath, come to the inverted V posture or Parvatasana. Exhale as you come down to Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale as you lift yourself up to Bhujangasana. Exhale as you go once again to Parvatasana. Inhale as you go to Ashwasanchalanasana, this time with the right leg forwards. Exhale as you come to Padahastasana. Inhale as you slowly rise to Uttanahastasana. Exhale as you return to Namaskar Mudra. Bring your hands down. Now relax for a while. Feet a little apart. Neck relaxed. Shoulders drooping. Eyes closed. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. You might have observed that in Surya Namaskar, it is inhale, exhale alternately with each movement, except that during the first Parvatasana, the breath is held. Surya Namaskar may be used as a bridge between the warm-up and traditional asanas, as we have done here, or if you are very short of time, Surya Namaskar may be used as a substitute for asanas. On the days on which you are very short of time, you may start with a few loosening and breathing exercises, then do 8 to 10 rounds of Surya Namaskar and end with a short Shavasana. The whole practice will take only about 20 minutes and you will have an excellent start for the day. Asanas. Now we shall go to the traditional asanas, but before we do that, a few general points.
The movements in all these asanas are slow, gentle and graceful. There is no room for jerky movements in yogasanas. Each asana has a starting position from which you go to a final position. The final position may be different for each individual depending on the flexibility of the body. If you do these asanas every day, your body will become more flexible and your final position may be close to that of the yoga instructor. But till then, do not try to force your body. Perform the movements slowly and gently till the point you feel safe, comfortable and capable of holding the posture without feeling unsteady. When you have reached your final position, stay there for some time. The final position is always a position of intense stretch, but it should be a comfortable stretch, a stretch that you enjoy. After holding the posture for some time, come back to a relaxing position. How you get into a posture and how you get out of the posture are as important as the posture itself. In case of a few asanas, you may be told to breathe in or breathe out as you get into or get out of the posture. But when you reach the final position, hold only the posture. Do not hold the breath. At least do not try to hold the breath. You may continue breathing while holding the posture. In many postures, it may be difficult to breathe normally. In a few, it may be almost impossible to do so. In such cases, do what comes to you naturally, but do not make an effort to hold the breath while holding the posture. In short, each asana has three phases: a starting position in which you are relaxed, a final position in which you hold the posture while feeling an intense but enjoyable stretch, and a position to which you return in which you are again relaxed. Thus, stretch alternates with relaxation. Try to be conscious of what is happening to your body in all the phases, especially to the joints and muscles, the degree of stretch, location of stretch, changes in stretch, etc. That will gradually improve your sensitivity to the body, so that one day you would know something not being right with the body at the earliest stage of an illness. Going through the whole process of asanas with full consciousness will also prevent injuries. You would know when you are approaching a point which may damage a muscle or a ligament, and you will decide to step back rather than go further. You may find it easier to do the asanas with full consciousness if you do them with the eyes closed. Finally, asanas become yogasanas only when performed with the yogic attitude. The attitude is that we are doing these asanas to stay fit, and we want to stay fit so that our body is fit to function as an instrument of the divine. In that sense, every asana is a prayer, and the chanting or devotional songs at the beginning and end of the session are only symbolic of this attitude.
Now let us do a few asanas in the standing posture. First, a simple variation of Trikonasana or the triangular pose. Feet a little apart. Take the right arm up slowly. When the arm is horizontal, turn the hand around. Continue the upward movement. When the arm touches the ear, give yourself a good stretch. Be gentle, but stretch as much as you can. Bend to the left and hold the posture. Do not bend forwards. Don't take support from the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back slowly. When the arm is horizontal, turn the hand around. Continue the downward movement. Feel the blood rushing back to the right arm. The other side. Take the arm up slowly. When the arm is horizontal, turn the hand around. Continue the upward movement. When the arm touches the ear, give yourself a good stretch and bend. Hold the posture. 1, 2. Don't take support from the hand. Don't bend forwards. 3, 4, 5. Come back slowly. When the arm is horizontal, turn the hand around. Continue the downward movement. Feel the after effect of the asana in the arm. Kati Chakrasana or spinal twist. Feet a little further apart. Arms horizontal. Turn to the right hand side. Look at the right hand. 1, 2, Don't let the arms come down. 3, 4, 5. Come back slowly. The other side. Turn to the left. Look at the left hand. 1, 2. Keep the arms straight. 3, 4, 5. Come back slowly. Bring the arms down. Feel the after effects of the asana. Utkatasana, or the chair pose. Feet close together. Hands straight ahead. Palms facing down. Go down as if you are sitting on a chair. Go down as much as you can. Try to make the thighs horizontal. Keep the back as erect as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come up slowly. Bring the arms down. Now we shall go to the lying down postures. If you lie down yourself, you cannot see the demo. So you may just sit down, watch the postures, and then replay the lying down postures while you do them yourself. Please lie down. Relax in Shavasana, or the corpse pose. Feet 1 to 1.5 feet apart. Hands a little away from the body. Palms facing upwards. Eyes closed. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Slow and deep breathing. Prishthabhumi Tadasana, or stretching like a palm or tada tree while lying down on the floor. Feet close together. Arms overhead. Give yourself a good stretch. Imagine as if somebody is pulling at your fingers and toes. Stretch as much as you can. Feel yourself growing taller by an inch or two. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back slowly. Relax in Shavasana. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Meru Vakrasana, or spinal twist in the lying down position. Feet close together, arms sideways, palms facing downwards. Place the right heel on the left knee. Turn the right leg towards the left. Lift the right hip up. Look at the right hand. Try to bring the right leg down a little more and hold the posture. Keep the left leg straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to the midline. Straighten the leg. The other side. Place the left heel on the right knee. Turn the left leg towards the right. Look at the left hand. Twist as much as you can and hold the posture. Keep the right leg straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back slowly. Straighten the leg. Relax in Shavasana. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Setu Bandhasana or the bridge pose. Bring your feet close together, hands close to the body, palms facing downwards. Bend the legs. Separate the legs by a short distance, just about 6 to 8 inches. Inhale as you lift yourself up in the middle. Lift up as much as you can. Feel the stretch and hold. That is Setu Bandhasana or the bridge pose. Form a steady bridge, not a wobbly one. Continue breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale as you come down slowly. Straighten your legs. Relax in Shavasana. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Pavan Muktasana or the wind release pose. This posture expels gas from the stomach and intestines.
Pavan Muktasana is the counter pose for Setu Bandhasana. That is, the movement in this asana is opposite in direction as compared to that in Setu Bandhasana. As a rule, a pose is followed by its counter pose. Thus, the stretch generated by a pose is neutralized by the next pose. That is one reason why a session of yogasanas does not tire you out.
Pavan Muktasana. Bring your feet close together, hands close to the body, bend the legs at the knees. Take a deep breath in. Encircle the legs with your arms Exhale as you take the thighs as close to the abdomen as you can. If you have pain in the neck or back, just hold the posture in this position. If you have no problem with the neck or the back, bring the face as close to the knees as you can. Press hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release the clasp, legs up, head down. Bring the legs down slowly without lifting the head. Relax in Shavasana. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Uttan Padasana. Uttana means raising, Pada means the feet. Uttan Padasana is the leg raising posture. Feet close together, hands close to the body, palms facing downwards. Lift the legs up to an angle between 30 and 45 degrees. When you have taken the legs up the right distance, you will find that your back is all flat. The entire length of the back is in contact with the mat. That gives you a cue when to stop while taking the legs up. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the legs down slowly without lifting the head. Relax in Shavasana. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Naukasana or the boat pose. We'll first form only half a boat, Ardha Naukasana, and then go to the full boat or Purna Naukasana. Feet close together, hands close to the body. Take the arms overhead as in Prishtabhumi Tadasana. Give yourself a good stretch. Lift your arms, head and shoulders up and form half a boat, Ardha Naukasana. And hold the posture there. 1, 2, 3. Now lift up also the legs and form a full boat, Purna Naukasana. And hold the posture there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the hands and feet down slowly. Relax in Shavasana. Feet apart, hands a little away from the body, palms facing upwards, eyes closed. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Take your right arm overhead. Place the left hand on the abdomen. Bend the left leg at the knee. Turn to the right hand side. Bring the left hand down to the mat in front of you. Taking support from both the hands, sit up slowly. Open your eyes with a few blinks. Now we shall do a few sitting postures. Paschimottanasana, or the forward bending posture. If you have back pain, please skip this one. Please adopt the position for Paschimottanasana. Stretch your legs straight forwards. Place the hands on your thighs. As you breathe in, take your hands up. Give yourself a good stretch. Imagine as if somebody is pulling your fingers up. Exhale as you bend forwards. Try to touch the toes, but if you cannot, you don't have to. Just bend as much as you can. Look at your knees. Don't bend the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale as you come back. Take the hands up slowly. Exhale as you bring the hands down. Take the hands slightly behind you and relax in Shithil Dandasana. Neck relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Let the head hang loosely forward, backward or sideways, whichever way you are most comfortable. Eyes closed. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Konasana, or the inclined plane. Konasana, or the inclined plane, is the counter pose for the previous asana. It will neutralize the stretch you experienced in Paschimottanasana. Steady yourself in the position in which you are sitting. Be erect. Keep the hands slightly behind you, the palms firmly on the mat. Arms straight and tight. Inhale as you lift the body up without bending the waist. Look back. The neck, the back and the legs are in one straight line. Hold the posture there. Continue breathing if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale as you come down slowly. Relax in Shithil Dandasana. Let the head hang loosely, forward, backward or sideways, whichever way you are most comfortable. Eyes closed. Slow and deep breathing. Vajrasana and Shashankasana. Leave about 2/3 of the mat in front of you and 1/3 behind. Please come to Vajrasana, the thunderbolt posture or the namaz pose. Sit on your knees, hands on the thighs. Inhale as you take the arms up. Give yourself an upward stretch. Imagine as if somebody is pulling at your fingers and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale as you come down to Shashankasana or the rabbit pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you return to Vajrasana. Relax in Vajrasana for a while. Eyes closed. Slow and deep breathing. Ushtrasana and Parvatasana. Position for Ushtrasana or the camel pose. Stand on your knees. Separate the legs by a short distance. The knees should be the same distance apart as the shoulders. Ushtrasana can be a little difficult, but it also has a few easy variations. First, have a look at the easiest variation. Now see a variation that is somewhat difficult. Now see a still more difficult variation. Okay? Now see a proper demo of the last variation that you saw. Take your arms back one by one and try to touch the heels. Bend backwards. Tummy out. Chest out. Look back. Bend as much as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back slowly to Parvatasana or the mountain pose. Head between the arms. Look at your feet. Give yourself a backward push. Form a perfect triangle like a mountain peak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the knees down first. Now bring down also the face to come to Makarasana or the crocodile pose. Lie down on the belly with the face resting on the arms. Feet apart, toes pointing outwards. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen presses against the mat. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves away from the mat. Bhujangasana or the cobra pose. Bring the feet close together, hands near the shoulders, forehead on the mat. Inhale as you rotate the neck backwards. Lift up the head, shoulders and the chest. Let the abdomen stay in contact with the mat. Look back. Do not take support from the hands. The hands just happen to be there, but do not use them for supporting the body. You should be able to lift the hands up without any problem. The asana is for the upper back, so use only the upper back muscles to lift yourself up. Let the abdomen stay in contact with the mat. One, two, three, 4, 5. Exhale as you come down to Makarasana again. Feet apart, toes pointing outwards, slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen presses against the mat. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves away from the mat.
Shalabhasana or the locust pose.
Feet close together. Take your hands towards the legs, palms facing upwards. Close the fists. Place the closed fists under the thighs, a little towards the inside of the thighs. Inhale as you lift the legs up. Keep the legs straight. Don't bend the knees. Let the chin stay in contact with the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale as you bring the legs down and return to Makarasana. Feet a little apart. Slow and deep breathing. Bhujangasana was for the upper back. Shalavasana was for the lower back. Now we shall do an asana for the upper and the lower back combined. Dhanurasana or the bow pose. Let the feet stay apart. Bend the legs at the knees. Hold the ankles. Lift the chest and the thighs off the ground. Bend as much as you can. Look back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release the ankles. Come back slowly to Makarasana or the crocodile pose. Relax in Makarasana. Feet apart. Slow and deep breathing. Taking the support of both the hands, sit up slowly. Please lie down on the back and relax in Shavasana. Feet 1 to 1.5 foot apart, hands a little away from the body, palms facing upwards, eyes closed. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Sarvangasana. Sarvangasana, as the name indicates, is an asana for all parts of the body. It's a little difficult asana, and those having back pain, neck pain, high blood pressure or heart disease should not do it. Those above 60 are also safer not doing it. It should not be done also by women during menstruation. Bring the feet close together, hands close to the body, palms facing downwards. Lift up the legs and take them back. Support the lower back with your hands and take the legs upwards. Make the legs vertical and hold the posture there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the legs back. Release the support to the back. Feel the back returning to the mat, vertebra by vertebra. Bring the legs down slowly without lifting the head. Relax in Shavasana. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Matsyasana or the fish pose. Matsyasana is the counter pose for Sarvangasana. It has many variations. We shall do the easiest one. Bring the feet close together. Fold the arms at the elbow and place the palms on the mat near your ears. Press the hands down, lift the head, shoulders and the chest. Bend the head backwards and let it rest on the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press the hands down, lift up the head a little, straighten the neck and bring the head, shoulders and the chest down. Straighten the arms. Relax in Shavasana. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Take your right arm overhead. Place the left hand on the abdomen. Bend the left leg. Turn to the right hand side. Bring the left hand down to the mat in front of you. Using the support of both the hands, sit up slowly. open your eyes with a few blinks. Pranayamas. Now we shall do a few pranayamas. Sit in a simple meditative posture, Padmasana or Sukhasana. Sukhasana is simpler. It is the ordinary cross-legged pose. Place your hands on the knees. Touch the index finger lightly with the thumb. That is what is called Chin Mudra. Sahaj Pranayama. First, Sahaj or simple pranayama. This pranayama consists of slow breathing, spending a little more time on breathing out than on breathing in. Further, as you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Breathe consciously, fully aware of the movements and the flow of air. Slow and gentle breathing, Sahaj Pranayama. Inhale, exhale, 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 inhale, exhale. Okay? Now you may resume your natural breathing. Full yogic breathing.
Now we shall go to full yogic breathing. Normally, we do not use our full capacity for breathing. In full yogic breathing, we breathe slowly but as deeply as possible, taking in as much air as we can. At the beginning of the breath, as you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. Continue breathing in by inflating the chest. Finally, draw in a little more air into the uppermost part of the chest, and as you do so, the shoulders move up. While breathing out, the order is reversed. First, the shoulders come down, then deflate the chest, and finally, as you squeeze out a little more air, the abdomen goes in. Count mentally from 1 to 5 while breathing in, and from 10 backwards to 1 while breathing out. If you count from 1 to 10 while breathing out, you may feel tense. In contrast, reverse counting from 10 to 1 is relaxing. Finally, one more thing before you start the practice. While breathing in, first the abdomen moves out and then the chest inflates. As you move from the abdomen to the chest, there will be a tendency for the abdomen to go in again. Resist this tendency by making the abdomen rigid. This is called guarding the abdomen.
Now let's begin the practice. Full yogic breathing, slow and deep breathing, the deepest possible. Place one hand on the chest and one on the abdomen so that you can feel the movements. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You may continue on your own. At the end of the current round of breathing, you may stop the practice, bring the hands down, come to a meditative posture, and resume natural breathing.
To recapitulate, in full yogic breathing, while breathing in, you move from the abdomen to the chest and then to the shoulders. While breathing out, you come in the reverse sequence. First, the shoulders come down, then the chest deflates, and finally the abdomen goes in. Count silently as you breathe, from 1 to 5 while breathing in, and from 10 to 1 while breathing out. Guard the abdomen as you move from the abdomen to the chest while breathing in. The first few rounds may not be very deep, but you will find that you will be able to breathe real deep by the time you are in the 4th or the 5th round. 10 rounds of full yogic breathing is one of the simplest and best pranayamas you can do. As a result of regular practice of Sahaj Pranayama and full yogic breathing, your normal breathing itself should undergo a change. It should become slower and deeper. Slow and deep breathing is much more efficient than rapid and shallow breathing. Moreover, slow and deep breathing also relaxes the mind.
Nadi Shodhan Pranayama or alternate nostril breathing.
The next pranayama is Nadi Shodhan Pranayama or alternate nostril breathing, sometimes called the king of pranayamas. Apart from its several physical benefits, it also enhances the power of concentration. If it is alternate nostril breathing, instinctively one may think it would be breathing in and out through one nostril and then in and out through the other. But actually, it is just the opposite. It is breathing out and in through one nostril and then out and in through the other. Out and in, change. Out and in, change. In other words, the change of nostril comes after each inhalation. A few important points. Maintain a slow and uniform pace of breathing. Breathe gently without making any sounds. As you breathe in, the abdomen should move out. As you breathe out, the abdomen should move in. Further, spend a little more time on breathing out than on breathing in. During the practice, there is a tendency for the neck to bend forwards. Do not let that happen. Keep the neck erect. Now you understand why the practice improves concentration. If you keep so many things in mind, when to change the nostril, to maintain a slow and uniform pace, not to make any sounds while breathing, and to keep the neck erect, the ability to concentrate will naturally improve. Next, let us see how to block a nostril. For that, we adopt Nasika Mudra. Fold the two fingers just next to the right thumb. When you do that, you will find that the distance between the thumb and the ring finger is about the same as the width of the nose. So that if you take the hand to the nose fits snugly between these two fingers. Then, just a little pressure with the thumb will block the right nostril, and just a little pressure with the ring finger will block the left nostril. Nasika Mudra seems cumbersome in the beginning, but very soon you would find that it is the easiest way to block one nostril at a time.
Now let's start the practice. Remember, the change of nostril comes after each inhalation. Adopt Nasika Mudra. Block the right nostril. Breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe in through the left nostril. Block the left. Out through the right. In through the right. Block the right. Out through the left. In through the left. Block the left. Out through the right. In through the right. Block the right. Out through the left. Continue like that at your own pace. The change of nostril comes after each inhalation. Maintain a slow and uniform pace. Don't make any sounds while breathing. Keep the neck erect. Gentle breathing at a slow and uniform pace. After you breathe out through the left nostril the next time, you may stop the practice, release the mudra, bring the hand down, come to a meditative posture and resume natural breathing. You might have observed that the practice begins with breathing out through the left nostril and ends also with breathing out through the left nostril. Kapalabhati, literally shine on the head.
Kapalabhati is not for everyone. Those who have high blood pressure, heart disease, neck pain, back pain, hernia, peptic ulcer, glaucoma, or epilepsy should not do it. Women during menstruation or in advanced stages of pregnancy also should not do it. If in doubt, better skip it. If you would still like to do Kapalabhati, listen carefully how to do it. Don't start doing it right away. In normal breathing, we make an effort to breathe in, but breathing out is passive. In Kapalabhati, it is just the opposite. Breathing out is active and breathing in is passive. Breathing out is not only active, it is forceful, with a jerk and rapid, and is with the help of abdominal muscles. In other words, Kapalabhati consists of rapid and forceful exhalation accompanied by the abdomen going in with a jerk. This is followed by breathing in passively, without making any effort. In short, Kapalabhati consists of rapid and forceful exhalation followed by passive inhalation. Now, watch the demonstration. Kapalabhati should not be done for too long. If carried on too long, it may lead to a dizzying spell or even fainting. The safest duration is less than 15 seconds. At the end of Kapalabhati, you may experience a natural stoppage of breathing. That is perfectly normal. If that happens, just wait for the urge to breathe and then start breathing normally. Do not make any deliberate effort to hold the breath.
Okay, let's begin. Sit in a comfortable meditative posture. Breathe out forcefully, and as you do so, jerk the abdomen in. After breathing out, make no effort to breathe in. Continue. Speed up. Still faster. Slow down and stop. At the end of Kapalabhati, you may experience a natural stoppage of breathing. That is perfectly normal. If that happens, just wait for the urge to breathe and then start breathing normally. Do not make any deliberate effort to hold the breath. Bhramari. humming like the female honeybee. The last pranayama we'll do is Bhramari, so called because its most prominent feature is humming like a Bhramari or the female honeybee. First, what is this humming sound? It is a nakara or chanting of a prolonged N sound. For example, one ends in na. Just try prolonging the end of one like this. One. Try it. One. What happened to your tongue when you did that? Try it once again. Did you observe that the tongue moved up? Now let's try the na chant without the va. Like that. You may ask whether the air goes out through the nose or the mouth during the chant. To find that, just try pinching the nose during the chant. As soon as you pinch the nose, the chanting stops. Hence, although the mouth is slightly open during the chant, the air still escapes through the nose. Now, what else is there in Bhramari? In Bhramari, we take a deep breath in through the nose and chant while breathing out. You don't have to make an effort to breathe out. As you chant, the air will flow out automatically through your nose in a gentle, slow and steady stream. Okay? We are ready to begin. Please adopt the mudra. Place the index finger on the forehead, 3 fingers on the nose, and use the thumb to block the ears. Take a deep breath in. Observe a soothing resonance in the head during the chant. Inhale. Very good. Inhale. Last 2 rounds. Inhale. Take a real deep breath in. Inhale.
Bhramari is a very soothing pranayama. It brings down the blood pressure, it brings down the stress levels. If you are a singer, Bhramari will improve your voice. And if you are not a singer, you may start singing. The duration of Bhramari is a good indicator of the breath holding time or the respiratory endurance. If you note your Bhramari time from one trial to the next, you would observe that it is remarkably constant. To time yourself really well, take in as deep a breath as possible and allow a gap of about 15 seconds between two trials. Further, if you note down your Bhramari time today, do your yogic practices every day for a month and then measure the Bhramari time again, you would see that it has increased. An increase in your Bhramari time indicates an improvement in your cardiorespiratory fitness.
Deep relaxation in Shavasana or the corpse pose. This is one asana that everybody loves. Please lie down. If it is cold, you may cover yourself with a shawl or a blanket. Feet 1 to 1.5 feet apart. Hands a little away from the body. Palms facing upwards. Eyes closed. If you would like to move a little bit to make yourself more comfortable, you may do so now. After you have come to your most comfortable position, avoid all movement. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Now we shall relax each part of the body one by one. Relaxing a part means trying to do nothing with that part of the body. Just leave it completely unsupported. Bring your awareness on the part and let it drop freely. You can let go completely because you are lying down. You just cannot fall. You are very secure in the lap of Mother Earth. Relax your feet. Relax your calf muscles. Relax your thighs. Relax the lower back. Relax the upper back. Relax your abdomen. Relax the chest. Relax your hands and fingers. Relax your arms. Relax your shoulders. We shall spend a little more time on the head and neck region because that is where we store our stresses and strains. Relax your neck. Relax your jaws. Let the lower jaw drop. No clenching of the teeth, please. Relax your cheeks. Relax your eyes. Let the eyes be closed but not tightly shut. Relax your forehead. No creases on the forehead, please. Relax your head. Now your whole body is totally relaxed and the mind completely at peace. Slow and deep breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Your body is so relaxed that when you breathe in and the abdomen goes up, you feel as if you are floating upwards. You are so relaxed that every time you breathe out and the abdomen goes in, you feel as if you are sinking into the floor. As you breathe in, feel light as a feather and float upwards. As you breathe out, drop on the mat like a heavy stone. Keeping the eyes closed, imagine as if you are out in the open. There's a lot of greenery around you. You can see mountains with snow-clad peaks. The birds are chirping. The butterflies are moving from flower to flower. What a beautiful sight. The sun is just rising. The golden rays of the sun are penetrating your body. The rays of the sun are entering your body through your head, your neck, your arms, your hands and fingers, your chest, your abdomen, your legs, and your feet. Your whole body is radiant with sunlight. The rays of the sun are reaching every nook and corner of your body and healing wherever there's anything wrong. Visualize the healing influence of the rays of the sun. You now have a healthy, glowing body, radiating peace and joy. Say to yourself, I am healthy, I am very healthy, I am strong, I am very strong. Resolve to keep this feeling of total health and perfect peace throughout the day. Move your fingers and toes a little. Move your head a little from side to side. Take the right arm overhead. Place the left hand on the abdomen. Bend the left leg. Pressing the left foot on the mat, turn to the right hand side. Bring the left hand down to the mat in front of you. Keeping the eyes closed and taking support from both the hands, sit up slowly. Rub your palms. Place the cupped palms in front of the closed eyes. Don't touch the eyes, just keep the cupped palms close to the eyes without touching them. Experience the eyes relaxing in warmth and total darkness. Bring your hands down slowly along the body. Come to a comfortable meditative posture. Open your eyes with a few blinks. Look around. Say an affectionate namaskar to the persons sitting near you. Thank you.